right, black and white sports supporters. Well, much to the chagrin of Angel Reese and Paige Becker fans out there that tried to spam everything they could on some MVP vote, and my goodness, they did. It's over. It's a wrap. It's as the old people used to say, it's curtains for you, Copper.
That reaction right there says everything about where we are with Caitlin Clark in February 2025. The announcement just dropped, minus she's officially the MVP of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And the internet immediately exploded into chaos. Because this wasn't just any MVP award. This was Caitlin Clark winning despite being benched for most of the tournament, despite playing out of position, despite what looked like deliberate attempts to minimize her impact. She still dominated enough to take home the hardware. The numbers don't lie. Clark posted a tournament-best 14.6 efficiency rating, second-best scoring at 11.6 points per game on 52.9% shooting, and led everyone with 6.4 assists per game. She did this while starting exactly 1 game out of 5. Let that sink in for a second. The MVP only started once.
In fact, let's just... Right here, let's look. Mega Gustafson, of course, a couple of Iowa Hawkeyes on here. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Plum from the USA team also made that team. So Caitlin Clark, USA Basketball, put this out. MVP of FIBA qualifying tournament in San Juan. Right here. Oh, man. Woo! I don't know what to tell you. You're by.
Look at that all-tournament team. Megan Gustafson, another Iowa Hawkeye, made the squad alongside Clark. Kelsey Plum from Team USA also earned recognition. But here's what makes this fascinating. USA Basketball themselves put out the announcement. The same organization that left Clark off the Olympic roster last summer, the same group that faced massive backlash for that decision. They're now celebrating her as their tournament MVP. The official statement from FIBA praised Clark for making her eagerly anticipated senior tournament debut and noted she lived up to the billing by delivering an excellent display for the reigning champions. That phrase, eagerly anticipated, tells you everything about the pressure she was under. This wasn't a quiet return to Team USA. This was the basketball world watching to see if she'd been worth the Olympic controversy.
As she read, yeah, when she was allowed to play guard for the, I don't know, 15 minutes in the entire tournament. The rest of the time, it seemed like she was playing small forward. I swear to God, she played power forward like 2 games ago. Seriously. Anyway, rant over. Clark impressed with her guard play as she returned to wearing a national team jersey for the first time since being the MVP at the FIBA U19 Women's Basketball World Cup in 2021. She posted the best efficiency at 14.6, second best scorer with 11.6, 52.9% shooting, and recorded a tournament best 6.4.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Clark impressed with her guard play when she was actually allowed to play guard for maybe 15 minutes of the entire tournament. She operated in her natural position. The rest of the time she was moved to small forward. 1 game she legitimately looked like she was playing power forward. Think about that coaching decision for a moment. You have the WNBA's leading scorer and assist leader, someone who just revolutionized the league's popularity, and you're experimenting with her at the 4 position during international competition. The FIBA report highlighted that Clark recorded a tournament best 6.4 assist, and that number would have been significantly higher if her teammates had converted the easy shots she created. Anyone who watched these games saw multiple possessions where Clark delivered perfect passes that resulted in missed layups or open jumpers. She could have easily averaged 11 or 12 assists if those shots had fallen.
Make that 2. The MVP fits Caitlin Clark like a glove. Let's see. There's her watch. She got that free watch. She got a free watch. Okay. Damn, that's a nice watch. Yeah. For Caitlin Clark to come off the bench and play different positions just shows you why she's the MVP. Yep, J-Mac, GOAT. GOAT. Yeah, it's hilarious. Oh no, you knew there was gonna be some. Oh, hilarious. Dallas Wings jersey, Paige Beckers. That's funny. That's freaking funny. Good job. Good job indeed. I'm impressed with that level.
That watch presentation moment captures something important about this tournament. Clark received a Tissot watch as part of her MVP award, a nice piece of hardware to go with the recognition. But watch her body language throughout these games. This is someone who came off the bench, played multiple positions she's not accustomed to, dealt with rotations that made no strategic sense, and still found a way to be the most impactful player on the court. The comment that stands out: for Caitlin Clark to come off the bench and play different positions just shows you why she's the MVP. That's the remarkable part. Most players would struggle to produce at their normal level under those circumstances. Clark elevated her game. She adapted to whatever role the coaches threw at her, made her teammates better regardless of position, and dominated the efficiency metrics despite the chaos.
Lexi? No, it's not. It's an imposter. Oh, this girl's mad, of course. Ryan Howard was robbed. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Congratulations, CC. They kept her on a leash and she still won the MVP. Is anybody ever going to cut her loose? I mean, seriously? Congrats. Congrats, CC. Neighbors are already crying. Yeah. This is sad, man. Really sad. Justice for Ryan Howard. Oh, cry us a river. Cry us a river. Deserved. I was okay with this, Orion. Oh, man. It's hilarious. Don't worry, Paige.
And then the reactions started flooding in. The Angel Reese and Paige Burker supporters, who had spent days spamming online MVP polls, suddenly went silent. Those fake voting campaigns that generated hundreds of thousands of bot votes collapsed the moment FIBA announced the actual award. One person literally admitted online they had spent an entire day voting over and over again on those unofficial polls, trying to manipulate the results. The hatred is that visceral. The comments ranged from justice for Ryan Howard, referring to Belgium's player who had a strong tournament, to accusations that Clark's mediocrity was on full display. One comment read, "The whole world got to see." See what exactly? A player who led the tournament in assists, ranked second in scoring, posted the best efficiency rating, and helped Team USA go 5-9-0. That's the definition of mediocrity now.
Congrats, CC and Plum. This is on the All-Star. Yeah, I could see Howard deserving to at least make the All-Star team. I can see that. You know, I can see that. Oh, that's hilarious. The one that didn't start one game. Yep. Read it and weep. Haters, no shit, Sherlock. 1 of 1. Congratulations, Caitlin. Yes, well deserved. Deserved congrats. Yeah. She's back, indeed. Oh, here's a bunch of stuff right here.
Look at these statistical breakdowns. Clark ranked first in points, first in assists, first in plus-minus, and first in 2-point field goal percentage. She dominated every meaningful metric while playing limited minutes in unfamiliar positions. The contrast between her actual performance and the narrative being pushed online couldn't be more stark. The comment, "Angel fans in shambles," might sound petty, but it reflects a real dynamic. There's a segment of WNBA fans who have built their entire identity around opposing Caitlin Clark. They don't just support other players, they actively root against her success. When she wins Rookie of the Year, they claim it was rigged. When she breaks assist records, they say the stat keepers are biased. When she wins tournament MVP, they spam voting polls with bots and then claim she doesn't deserve recognition.
Good. First plus minus. First 2-point field goal percentage. That's good. Angel fans in shambles. Yeah. I think it's hilarious how all of a sudden she just miraculously got like 600,000 views on that MVP voting. That sham MVP voting that got hijacked by a bunch of bots. I literally saw somebody, by the way, an Angel and Paige supporter, admit online they had spent all day voting over and over and over and over and over again. Y'all need a life.
The phrase that keeps coming up, they kept her on a leash and she still won the MVP. That's not hyperbole. The coaching decisions throughout this tournament look designed to limit Clark's impact, starting her once out of 5 games, moving her away from point guard where she's most effective, reducing her minutes compared to other key players, playing her at power forward in international competition. None of that makes basketball sense if your goal is winning games, and yet she still produced at an MVP level. She still led the tournament in assists. She still posted the best efficiency rating. She still helped Team USA sweep through qualifying with a perfect record. The question becomes, what could she have done if they'd actually unleashed her? If they'd let her run the point for 30 minutes a game instead of experimenting with lineups that made no sense?
Lee, you got to be kidding me. Guys, the hatred is that real. They hate this white girl so much, this straight white girl so much, that if the word agenda cannot be tied to a player, they are not going to support the player. They are so mad about Caitlin Clark. And now the season's back. And guys, unfortunately, I do think Caitlin Clark's they're going to go after her again all year long. And the league won't do nothing about it. Tell me what you think. The MVP. Peace. I'm out.
Here's what makes this situation significant beyond just one tournament award. Caitlin Clark is heading back into the WNBA season, and the pattern that emerged last year is about to repeat itself. The physical targeting, the flagrant fouls that went uncalled, the media narratives that downplayed her impact, all of that is coming back. The comment at the end says it plainly. I do think Caitlin Clark, they're going to go after her again all year long, and the league won't do nothing about it. That's not speculation. That's pattern recognition based on what happened throughout her rookie season. Players took shots at her that would have resulted in suspensions in any other context. Coaches complained about the attention she received while their own teams benefited from increased attendance when she visited. Media members wrote think pieces about how her popularity was somehow bad for the league. The hatred isn't about basketball performance. If it was, the FIBA tournament would have settled the debate. She proves she can dominate at the international level despite being deliberately limited by coaching decisions. She proves she can produce MVP numbers while playing out of position. She proves she can elevate teammates regardless of circumstances. The hatred is about something else entirely. It's about a straight white woman becoming the face of a league that certain people believe should have a different face. It's about someone who doesn't fit the preferred narrative still succeeding despite institutional resistance. It's about the fact that no amount of obstacles, being left off the Olympic team, being benched in tournaments, being physically targeted during games, being moved to unfamiliar positions, can stop her from producing at an elite level. The phrase used in the video is direct. They hate this white girl so much, this straight white girl so much, that if the word agenda cannot be tied to a player, they are not going to support the player. That's uncomfortable to acknowledge, but the evidence keeps mounting. When Clark wins awards, the response isn't celebration of excellence, it's immediate attempts to delegitimize the achievement. Watch what happens as the WNBA season approaches. The narratives are already forming. She's overrated despite winning Rookie of the Year. She's a system player despite leading the league in assists. She's benefiting from favoritism despite being physically targeted more than any player in recent memory. The goalposts keep moving because the criticism was never really about basketball in the first place. The FIBA MVP award matters because it happened on an international stage with international officials and international standards. This wasn't the WNBA where accusations of bias can gain traction. This was FIBA, where Clark competed against players from multiple countries and still dominated the efficiency metrics. She did it while being coached by the same USA basketball staff that left her off the Olympic roster. She did it while playing limited minutes in unfamiliar positions. And she still won MVP. That's what makes the online reaction so telling. Instead of acknowledging the obvious, that Clark is an elite player who produces at the highest level regardless of circumstances, the response was to spam fake voting polls and claim the real award was somehow invalid. The cognitive dissonance required to maintain that position is staggering. So here's the question for the WNBA. As the season approaches, are you going to protect your biggest star, or are you going to let the targeting continue? Because Caitlin Clark just proved on an international stage that she can handle whatever obstacles you throw at her. She can come off the bench and win MVP. She can play out of position and lead the tournament in assists. She can face hostile coaching decisions and still post the best efficiency rating. But at some point, the league has to decide whether it wants to build around excellence or cater to the voices that can't accept who's delivering that excellence. The FIBA tournament provided a clear answer about Clark's ability. Now we're about to find out if the WNBA learned anything from watching her succeed despite everything working against her. What do you think happens when the season starts? Does the physical targeting increase? Do the narratives get more desperate? Or does the league finally acknowledge what the rest of the basketball world already sees? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that like button if you think Clark's gonna have an even better second season, and subscribe because this story is far from over. The haters proved they'll never be satisfied no matter what she accomplishes. The question is whether the WNBA is gonna let them dictate the narrative or celebrate the player who's bringing unprecedented attention to women's basketball.